Good morning, guys. So I just want to take a little bit to um, kind of share my experience with the 2013 Boston Marathon. I've never really talked to anyone about it, not even my family, I don't think. Um, and so, given the fact that Tsarnaev's trial is starting soon, and he's been in the news lately, and it's probably only going to get worse. It's kind of bringing it all back. And one thing that sticks out to me is the fact that there are people protesting the way in which he was captured, the way in which kind of all of this came about. And that kind of boggles my mind and it pisses me off because, I mean, I understand that everyone, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You're entitled to support whoever you want. And I know that's part of the beauty of our justice system, as flawed as it may be. But to me, and maybe I'm biased, all right, I know I am, this seems pretty black and white. For people to question whether or not the authorities have the right guy just boggles my mind. It's clear what he and his brother did. And so I wasn't nearly as affected as others. My family was very blessed that day. We basically walked away with emotional bruising. And I already know I'm probably going to cry during this video because I've already tried to make this video a handful of times already and just waterworks. So I'm going to, I guess, back up to when Tracy, Tina, and I were running. Tracy and Tina, my friends, we were running the marathon together that day. I can't even tell you what mile we were at when another runner passed by us and said that there was an explosion at the finish line and they thought maybe it was a generator or something. And so as we're running, more information kind of starts to get filtered through the course. We're hearing that it's bombs and, people were injured. And so none of us were running with our phones that year. So we stopped and asked a couple of the spectators who happened to be college girls, if we could use their phones, and they were amazing. They jumped out on the course with us and were basically walking with us while we were using their devices. And I was unable to get in touch with anyone in my family. I tried, everyone I knew that was in town. Tracy and Tina were able to get in touch with Tracy's parents, and they just basically told them to stay on the T and get out of town. So come to find out, the cell phone towers were pretty much jammed. So that's why I couldn't get through to my family, but I didn't know that. So we leave the girls, and I wish I remembered her name, or I wish I even asked her name, but I gave the girl a message to give to my family if they texted back or called back, and I guess Jenny happened to text back, and she just said, "I was with your sister Jessica. She's okay." So, we continue running, I guess, because we were told that they were rerouting the finish. So that was before we knew the extent of the situation. So we're running, and it sucks. Sobbing, running, sobbing, running. And then eventually we get to about mile 25, just before, and there's a big barricade. And the officer says, the race is over. You can't keep going. You have to go right or left. And so we turned right, and we walked around somewhere, and eventually made our way to the common. So we're sitting on an MBTA bus to keep us warm, and I still have no idea what's going on, because, that Jenny had texted that girl back, but I was long gone, so I didn't find out till after the fact. So I just knew that my family, with my nieces, were coming in to see me finish. And they were trying to get as close to the finish line as possible. And my friend Elena came in, and it was her birthday. But she has a shit under the deal anyway, because she was born on tax day. But, anyway. I don't even know what time it was, and I finally get in touch with Jenny. And I pretty much get like this, so I can't talk. And I give the phone to Tracy. And Tracy's able to just let Jenny know where I was. And I guess she and my mom and dad and my nieces made their way to Cambridge, because my brother-in-law works there. And they walked. They just took the girls and walked. And his car was there. And then he got escorted into town to meet up with Jonelle, Erin, and Chris. And Elena had since gotten separated and made her way home. So they eventually come to the Commons and find me, and everything pretty much seems to be okay. So I was able to calm down a little bit, and after the events, the next couple of days, it turns out that my sister Jonelle, who's a nurse, and my father, who just helps people, dove into action that day and helped as many people as they could. And so they were heroes to people that day. Jonelle was actually recognized by the American Red Cross at a heroes event for her actions. And I just can't express how lucky my family was, how blessed we were. They were literally standing in between the two explosions. They were at the corner of Boylston and Exeter, and they were right there. So the fact that the trial is starting soon, I really hope that this kid gets what he deserves, because he affected so many people, so many families lost. And here I am, just an emotional wreck, and we were okay. So the effect that this kid had on so many people, as minor or as major as it was, he deserves what he gets. And I shouldn't say that, but I hope he gets what he deserves. I hope the justice system comes through for this one. And for those of you that are supporting him, don't support him just to be devil's advocate. I hope you know what you're supporting. So that's